Yeah, come on. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Spark. I'm Joanne Murphy, and we have two special guests today. They are Beyah del Mundo and Stacey Kwong, and they're co-founders of MILK+T Boba bars. They have 3 locations in the U.S., and I can't wait till we hear their story. So if you'll introduce yourselves, Beyah, let's start with you.
Sure. Hi, guys. My name is Beyah. I am born and raised in the Philippines. I'm also one of the co-founders of MILK+T, and I'm currently living in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hey everyone, I'm Stacey. I'm the other co-founder of MILK+T, born and raised in Los Angeles. So I've been in California all my life. And yeah, I'm really excited to do this podcast with you.
Ingredients. Tell me where you source your ingredients from to make quality products. What does that look like for what you sell, for your products?
So when we first started, when Beyah and I were first doing our initial sort of R&D, we weren't really thinking of very high quality ingredients. We were just thinking, how can we be on the same par as other boba shops? So I gave her a recipe for one of the popular franchises, which was just full of creamer, full of brown sugar. And she tasted, she's like, oh my God, I love it. But then afterwards, she's like, I don't feel so good. I feel like I just ate an entire meal. And I was like, you're right. Like this milk tea kind of like, it tastes great, but it makes us feel really weighed down and just not that refreshed afterwards. And we later found out that regular milk teas have about 500 to 600 calories per drink when you include the tapioca balls. And we were like, holy crap, that is a meal. So we were like, how can we make the same great tasting milk tea, but maybe less caloric, a little bit on the healthier side? And that's when we found lactose-free milk in stores. And we were like, hey, Asians are lactose intolerant. Or well, a lot of them are, like me, I'm lactose intolerant. And we were like, let's try it. So we made it, and Beyah was like, it's not as creamy as the other one, but I don't feel gross.
Right.
I tried it and I was like, I don't feel gross either. And I kind of like it. So that's when we chose to go with lactose-free whole milk for all of our drinks, all of our milk drinks. And that is one of the main things that set us aside from other existing shops, because when we opened, we were the first shop to ever offer lactose-free milk. Now there's a few other ones that do it, but yeah, that was what set us aside for the most part. And we have our fair share of complaints from people going, oh, it's not as creamy as other milk tea shops. We're like, oh, but it's healthier. So now if you don't get tapioca and you just get a plain milk tea, it caps out at about 100 calories.
Oh my gosh, that's a huge difference, right?
Yeah.
What sets you apart from the other boba shops? You've talked a little bit about your product. Are there other things that set you apart from other boba businesses? You're female owned.
Yes, female owned. I think we are the only boba shop to be female LGBTQ owned. I'm not sure. There could just be shop owners that aren't like out about themselves, but I'm like, oh, I think we're the only ones. Oh, yeah. That's cool. We don't tout that or anything. I'm just like, oh, okay. But we also give away free glass jars. That is one of the biggest models about our business. So with every drink a customer gets, they can either opt for a free glass jar upgrade, or they can stick to the 20-ounce plastic cup, which is a little bit bigger. So it does provide a little bit more drink, but the glass jar that she's holding is sort of an incentive for people to come back, because prior to COVID, we offered discounts where if you bring your jar back and let us reuse it, or let us reuse it for you, then you get 10% off. So that sort of helped decrease waste while increasing customer retention, which was something that was great all around. And our jars were kind of like this business card that just spread itself all over the world. Like we've gone through probably close to 200,000 glass jars now, and they're somewhere out in the world.
Yeah, somewhere. We've seen
It's
them
been crazy. Yeah.
several times, which is
There
kind of
was some at Goodwill.
it's kind of cool because they actually put a price on it. So it's like, oh my gosh, this is worth something. You know, they didn't toss it, so it was cool.
So, do you use your platform to do good? What does that look like? You talked a little bit about sustainability, talked a little bit about being a woman-owned and LGBTQ-owned business. What does your platform look like, and how do you use it?
I would say we sort of talk about being in the LGBTQ community a lot, but ever since Black Lives Matter started to sort of take shape, I think Beyah has really expressed herself a lot more. So Beyah, you can talk about that.
Yeah. So in our platform, you know, me and Stacey, we are, as you can tell, we're very different. And so, you know, when MILK+T talks about something, it's usually coming from Stacey. Recently, MILK+T is talking about Black Lives Matter, and that's directly coming from me. And as much as we're using our platform to kind of like teach others whatever subject that is, we're also using our platform to get educated by others, especially in the Black Lives Matter movement. When I first posted about that, I've been thinking about it for at least a week and a half. And, you know, the thing is, as a Filipino native, I didn't grow up in America. And, you know, there's a lot of things that I didn't learn. You know, I didn't learn a lot about like Black culture, and, you know, there's just so much that I didn't learn. And it's very difficult when you have a platform and you say something that could be like politically or socially, like, I don't know, I don't even know what the word is. Like, I just didn't want to be incorrect about it, but also at the same time, like, I wanted to be honest. And so I tried to learn as much as I could and just shared my opinion, and also asked others, you know, ask our followers, like, hey, like, what do you think I'm missing here? Like, you know, is there anything I should learn? Like, any resources? And, you know, it's incredible because when people see that you are being very candid and that you are very willing to know more, and that you're not putting that responsibility towards others. You know, I'm not saying like, you know, Black people should have taught me to be like this, you know. People are very willing and happy to help you. And ultimately, I'm very glad that our platform and our followers are able to see that we're willing, you know, we're still learning. I think in every video I made that very clear, you know, we're willing, but I'm still learning. Like, I'm 29, but I'm still learning, you know. For a black kid that's like 12 years old right now, that's probably something they learned at 2 years old. But for me, I'm still learning, you know. And so it's very interesting. And ultimately, our platform is for teaching and for also learning.
Thank you for doing all of that. And thank you, Beyah and Stacey, for sharing your story. I mean, it's a good one. Oh. And I can't wait to follow you both, and hopefully maybe at some point follow up with you and do a little tour of your store. And I'm kind of sad now that you don't have the Boba truck, because then I could tour the Boba truck. Well, thank you for all of that. Thank you to our audience for listening. And don't forget to follow me on Joanne Tabalea Murphy on Twitter and LinkedIn for the latest Spark updates. Thanks for sharing your Spark, Beyah and Stacey. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us, Joanne.
We had a great time.